Hello, welcome to Driven It Drive Time. I'm out today with the Genesis G80. It's having a little bit of a refresh, a little bit of a relaunch, and you sort of go, oh, now you might be sitting there going, what the hell is a G80? Because I don't see any on the road. And you'll be right, you don't see many on the road because they're not really the sort of car that, say, mums and dads would go out and buy. These have got a specific market, and Genesis have answered to some of the criticism that the reward and hire drivers have bestowed on it, because it has got a bit of a problem in the back. But I'll get onto that because they've sorted that out quite well. Not as successful as you think it should be, but I'll go through that and I'll show you what I mean. However, it's still the same Genesis G80, so it's still got the same 5-year, we come to you service plans, and that will continue on because they're now changing how they sell these things, because they now don't have just the two London stores and the one in Edinburgh. They're now actually partnering up with dealerships. So yeah, you'll be able to actually service it. Because I was worried, and I'll be honest with you, I know we're talking about new cars, but I'm going to slightly veer off and talk about second-hand, because when these things come into the second-hand market, what happens? Depreciation, you see. If you've got nowhere that's going to look after these things, who's going to want to buy them? They're sorting that out. So you can buy one of these now with ease of mind, because it's sorted. Now, I'm going to go through some of the changes they've made externally. Not many, so it'll be nice and quick. So changes they have made to the front. We now have the new badge, and you go, ooh, solid grille, because this is an EV, you see, and when I do driving impressions, I'll talk about all of the, that stuff. Charging port here. Thankfully though, I have to say, because when you see these without a license plate, this grille is huge. So I'm actually, for once, quite happy that we have to slap on big, massive license plates onto the front of our cars. Just breaks it down, I'll tell you, because it is just too big. However, one thing they've done, and I'll tell you now, I sat there through a press conference and I went, oh, really? Do they have to? Because they've changed the front bumper. And before, we had a chrome trim that went all the way across here. Now, we have this chrome trim that goes across here. There's a vent here, which actually has a purpose. It reduces drag, co-drag, whatever you call it. But you've got this new bumper here, and it adds aggression. Oh, bloody kill me. One thing I've always said about Genesis, their cars aren't aggressively designed. They're elegant, they're smooth. And then they put this aggressive bumper. Yeah, I was like, really? But there's too much aggression in this world, don't you think? I mean, you know, let's just have a bit of niceness, a bit of serenity, a bit of comfort, a bit of hello, how are you? Not, how are you? There we go. Let's have a look at the back. Round the back, there isn't much change. There we go, there isn't. There is a nice boot with an electric button on the remote, and up here, and a little red light. The boot is 345 litres or something around about that. It does have a slight intrusion in the back where because you've got gubbins underneath that have to come out through somewhere. They're coming through the boot. But you know what? It's quite nice. There is one problem I have with the boot, and I will actually bring the camera in and show you. It's just that I think for a car of luxury, I am not happy. See, they've got lights here. This, unfinished. Now, I know, admittedly, it's only if you've got a body in here and they're looking up going, hey, help me out, help me out. But you know what? It really, really wouldn't hurt to put a bit of trim over that. That's just one of my gripes. However, thankfully, though, we can't see another one of my gripes, which is poorly painted boot shuts, because it's all covered in plastic, so I can't see it and I can't moan. But yeah, that bit, I'm just like, It's inside the back where this now is vastly improved. They have improved it by about, I think, 30 millimetres in wheelbase from the back. So everything actually on the G80 is new, except bonnet, front wings, front doors. Everything else brand new. Yeah, so they've extended the wheelbase. Now that is me driving, and I've got rather nice amounts of legroom here, and I've got reasonable amounts of headroom too. One problem, because it's got a bigger battery, you see, it's got to go somewhere, it comes up through the floor. Literally, you've got these lovely, saucy little bitch carpets. Honestly, that is better shag pile carpet than I have at home in my bedroom, I can assure you. But yeah, but anyway, it's under thigh support. It's sort of slightly slacking, certainly for someone with me of 6 foot height. if they had this as electric adjustable, or could pull that up, yeah, that would probably make it a little bit better. However, you have got this lovely feature, electric door. Bye. It's nice. And it shuts automatically for you, see? And you press the button, and it gently opens it up, and open it. It does, I'll be honest with you, I was in the car park and I opened up the back door. It catches you out at first because it sort of goes, and it helps you. And you go, oh, bloody hell. Now, if that electric button does go wrong and you go, oh, the electrics are gone, there is an override button, which I always think is quite nice. I have just noticed in here, in the door bin, there is a sign that says bottles, yes, cups, no. Why do they put that in? I'll take a picture and show you. And you go, ah. One other thing, though, I think is absolutely missed, particularly in a car made for the chauffeur industry, is if the driver jumps out, presses the off button, none of this works in the back. So yeah, don't leave a dog in a hot car. Don't leave your passenger in a hot car because they can't open the bloody window. So I think, to be honest with you, this should all be powered up. However, come and look at the door cards. That door card is lovely. It's got quilted, because this is the Napa, this is the top range, and they only got one model. And this is Napa leather with a little wood trim, a little blue, a little nice speaker grille that I can touch. But that's nice touch. It's all nice touch in here. And there is some lighting in somewhere. Although I can't really see where it's lighting around here, but apparently there's some lighting somewhere. So yeah, it's not bad. There is one other slight problem in the back, and that is if you want to carry 3 people in the back, because it sits quite nicely with 2, and you've got this, say, lovely central armrest that's got controls, heated seats, the electric door opening buttons, locks, the blinds go up and down, it's got all of that stuff. However, it does give you a 3rd seat belt, and you go, okay, I'll sit on that. Yeah, it's fine, as long as I don't want my neck. So yeah, anyone 6 foot, you can't sit in the middle. And it's not particularly comfortable. So, you know what, chauffeuring 2, perfect. Chauffeuring 3 in the back, absolutely not. So inside the front is where all the changes are. We have a new dashboard layout. Because before, I'll be honest with you, the G80, it was lovely. But at the launch in 2021, we had the GV80 and we had the G80 to play with, and the GV80 made you feel fantastic inside. You go, oh yeah, that's lovely. You jumped into the G80 and you went, oh, the interior just wasn't there. And say, this is one model only, just under £76,000 without options. There's a couple of options packs, to be honest with you, all worth having because you get everything here. And they only add, I think they had sort of just under £4,000 in options, which when you're paying £76,000 for a car, do you know what? Yeah, and it is good value for money. When you compare it like for like with the German equivalents, I'll tell you now, you will be a fool to buy something German when you've got this banging at its door. Anyway, so changes to the dashboard. We've now got a 27-inch touch screen across here, which is better than previous, because before we had a sort of little binnacle here with a little cowling, and then we had a little touch screen here. However, the one thing I think just ruins this, because I'll be honest with you, at the press conference they were talking about the pictures, and they showed pictures, you see, and I just went, oh, it doesn't look that great. And actually, in real life, this is actually better than their pictures. However, the problem I have is it just looks like someone's got an iPad and just gone slapped it on the dashboard. Now, this is like, you know, with all the options, let's be honest, it's just, you know, £80,000 car. So 76, £80,000 car. This could be, I mean, it's nice and secured, but it could be better, just better finished over here. I think they should have had a whole cowling that goes over that just to finish it off, because it does, say, it does look a bit like an afterthought, like, oh fuck, whack it on and oh bugger. But yeah, I don't know why that doesn't work. Oh, now one thing it does have, there is the thing called UVC. I've shoved all my things in, I've switched it on. It's got this thing where it will ultrasonically clean all your detritus off your phone and your keys and stuff. So, you know, if you've dropped your phone down your toilet, shove it in the little compartment in your Genesis, press the UVC button, super clean in about 10 minutes. So there you go, super duper. Driving position in this grand luxurious G80. Now, one thing actually, I'm going to talk about the luxury. Because during the press conference, they weren't really mentioning premium, because they often say with these things, oh, it's got premium this, premium that. No, I tell you now, I play a game called Bullshit Bingo, and I sometimes sort of pick out a word, and you go, I'm going to see how many times I say it. They said premium twice. It appeared twice in this press conference. And I was like, oh. But luxury, 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 that is what this car is all about. It's the market it goes for, isn't it? It's for chauffeurs. It's for people that sit in the back and say, oh, you drive me to Waitrose, drive me not to Lidl. So, yeah, driving position, if you're the chauffeur, I tell you now, you will be quite overjoyed if your masters and servants get you one of these, because it just fits nicely. I have done 2 hours. Our first test route was 2 hours long, and I tell you now, it was just so nice to sit in here for 2 hours and just while away the time. When you're on your own, you've got a 17-speaker Bang & Olufsen stereo system, so you can rock out to your favourite tunes. Well, you know, while they're not in the back. But yeah, it just all feels really, really nice to touch, really, really nice to drive. And I say, it's got the typical Genesis, it's got lots of driver aids, so you've got mirrors that pop up here in the screen, but you've got good mirrors to see out. It's got 360-degree parking, you've got remote parking, all that stuff. Lovely. One thing it doesn't do, which again absolutely infuriates me, when you're on the move, you cannot fold in the mirrors. It will not let you do that, and I'm sorry, but that absolutely infuriates me. I know they will say, oh, it's a safety feature because, you know, it's got a camera in the mirror, and yeah, if that's folded in, you can actually see quite well when that's folded in. However, what use is a mirror when it's been obliterated to 1,000 fucking pieces because I've hit a lorry or a lorry has hit me? See? So not such a safety feature, I'm sorry, but some manufacturers that don't let you do it, oh, some manufacturers that you do it, I love them for it. But yeah, that's just a little gripe that I have, because door mirrors are not cheap. I think I got them to price up something on one car. I think it was a Kia, and that was like 1,800 quid to 2 grand for a door mirror. Think about that. So yeah, so anyway, enough of me rabbiting on, because we can go for a drive. I'm stroking this because I've got the heated steering wheel on, because we like a heated rim. Oh, I do love a hot rim. Anyway, so let's go for a drive now. But I'm going to go through the performance figures because it's what everybody wants to know. They haven't given us a top speed, but I would say fast. No. 0 to 60 comes up in 5.1 seconds, so it's quite quick. That 5.1 seconds comes up with the aid of 700 Newton meters of torque from 370 PS. It's quite a lot. It has a 187 kilowatt hour battery, and it will go from 10% to 80% charge in about 25 minutes. Thankfully though, when you are waiting for it to charge, 25 minutes, you can, on the screen, it does give you streaming. So you've got all sorts of things that you can stream that they give you, which come from over the air, not from your telephone. So there is that. That is quite handy. Fuel economy, so to speak, I've been getting, so again, they haven't really told us, but I have been getting from about 3.7 to 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So there we go. Driving impressions so far, it's very entertaining. There are 3 drive modes, and I'm going to press the button so I can remind myself. We have Eco, you never use it. Comfort, comfort's very, very nice, very, very serene. Sport mode, I can tell you now, I have driven it in sport mode, and I was a bit like, oh. It's not that kind of car, you see, where you want to go sport mode, because it's a big luxury saloon, it's serene and comfortable, but they also do give you, because they know their market, the market that want this car, and they've done changes to the back end, which we've already gone through, because of its market where they most of them are going to be sold. And they have this special drive mode now called chauffeur, which you have to keep your finger pressed on the button for chauffeur mode. And it just takes away the regen. So you haven't got people doing this all the time when you sort of come off if you've got the regen up high. It just softens throttle responses, and the brake pedal's not so hard. So I'll be honest with you, because we've just had lunch, right? And we're sitting around the table, we were talking shop. I know, we'll talk shop. You can tell if a car's good. If a car's good, people around lunch, they talk shop. So we were talking shop, and there was another couple of guys, they're like, yeah, we liked it in chauffeur mode. It is so nice to drive in chauffeur mode. Putting all that power down is quite entertaining. This is a dual motor, and it has a very, very efficient way of working. Where as you're on the motorway and you're driving along and it's very efficient, it goes, oh, hang on, no, we can be more efficient. It disengages the front motor and you go, oh. So it just then powers on a motorway through the back wheels. Because to be honest with you, four-wheel drive systems are not efficient. So if they're constantly running, they do cost you more money at the pumps or the plugs or wherever. But yeah, just generally four-wheel drive systems, they are when they are permanently engaged. So this time you don't have to have it permanently engaged. It will automatically switch off for you, which is very, very nice. Now, as I said, when you pull away, all that power does make for quite interesting driving. I had fun on a roundabout. Why did I turn right? I should have turned left, shouldn't I? I'm now going to be stuck here in Cobham. I put all the power down when I entered in a roundabout, and I can tell you now, the four-wheel drive system or not, it was still quite amusingly interesting. Thank you very much. That's all Nissan there, great. Yes, it put all the power down, and we did get a bit of front-end plough, but then that is sort of what you can get with a four-wheel drive system. A rear-wheel drive system, it would have just kicked off its arse, or it would have literally just put all traction control in and gone, "Ah!" and tried to stop you doing that sort of thing. Yeah. Is it as entertaining to drive as, say, the GV70 that I had recently? No, it's not. But again, you see, this is a big luxury saloon, and it's not designed for that. It's designed really for his lordship in the back, because that's where all the fun happens. However, I've said we've discovered a little noise. Anyway, but you know, let's say I'm the chauffeur, I'm the one wearing the cap. Hello, governor, where do you want to go? It's fine. It's really, really lovely. Now, this has got that lovely blue interior, so it just feels lovely. Now, I did say to the Genesis PR team, I was like, Johnny, I said, please, black. Apparently people like black interiors. Really? Oh, you lot need to look in a mirror. You lot that like black interiors, look in a mirror, take a deep, hard look at yourself and ask yourselves, really? Do I really just want a black interior? Because I can tell you now, it wouldn't make this a very nice environment to drive in, but you know, there we go. But you know, driving, it's very nice, it's very comfortable. They have said that there are these sound dampening speaker things around the car that sort of work out the frequencies and tone it down. Noise cancelling, that's it, counselling. Yes, you need counselling. No, noise cancelling speaker system. Does it work? In theory, when you sit through a press conference and they go da 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 and they tell you all this stuff, you go, oh, and then you drive the car and you go, it's, if I'm honest with you, it's not as serene as I thought it should be. See, it's got a camera up here that reads the road and it sort of does all the adaptive stuff, and yeah, you still get road noise come in, and I would say probably more than I would expect, even on the chauffeur mode, where it just softens things up, and it does soften things up, because there's one road I hear and it had sort of lovely undulations, and this thing really was just, and do you know what? It reminded me, with all this blue interior, reminded me of a Citroen CX Prestige, you know, the Citroen CX limousine, which is pretty much what this is. And I thought, do you know what? Don't get that soft, squidgy ride anymore. I know, yes, Citroen did try with the CX-5, and yes, it did make for a soft, squidgy ride, but no one bought that. But then, you know, what market is that for? No one knows. But this has got a specific market, so that is why it does what it does. But yeah, it is really, really lovely. And I say, fingertip controls all over the place. Just when everyone is sort of thinking, oh yes, actually people are right, we should really have the heater controls on buttons, Genesis have gone for touchscreens. And you go, oh. But I have to say, in fairness, they do work quite well. And with a little bit of familiarity, you can sort of navigate your way around it without really taking your eyes off the road. Yeah, sometimes you just sort of look down and go, hang on, what do I need to, yeah, press that one, press that one. It works very, very well. You don't sort of press it and go, oh, bugger, and start trying to jab the screen. You don't have to. It just does it very, very nice. And we've got nice door cards here, and we've got all the, you know, the usual soft touch plastics at the top, and rubbery bits and leathery bits, and you've got hard plastic at the bottom. The bits that are easy wipe clean if you scuff them up slightly. But yeah, it all works very, very nice. Now, one thing I did like, because it has rear screens in the back, and I was like, well, how do you get them down? And it all works on the window switches. So the windows are closed and the blinds are down, but if I press this button, they do, he says, hoping, yes it does, it goes up. And it's just marvellous. And, oh, excuse me, there's one on the back. Now the back window one is really quite genius. As much as it has reversing cameras, which are quite clear, sort of like HD ready screens, the rear blind does also drop, which I think is a really, really nice touch, because if you're old school like me, yes, I have used cars and I have reversed big cars using the reversing cameras, but sometimes you just like to be able to see yourself where you're going. Drops that screen down lovely, a lovely, lovely little touch. So yeah, there we go. So the $6 million question, would I put my own money into one of these? To be honest with you, if I was just looking for a big Luxo barge, probably would, to be honest with you. It does just drive really nicely. It's a little bit sporty, it can be a little bit naughty, which I quite like. But yeah, if, however, you are higher in reward and you're a little chauffeur and you want something that's going to impress, you will not do much wrong with turning up with one of these. The other thing I would say is pick the right colour. This is sort of a, they do 13 different colours. No reds, lots of blues, a couple of greens, some whites and some greys and blacks. But yeah, I don't think you will do yourself any disservice turning up in one of these. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from that. And you sort of go, yeah, if you're sort of, you know, after a higher reward car and you go, oh, actually, pop it on your list, as I've said. Anyway, mind you go, take care. See you soon. Right, I've got to take this back and I don't know where it's got to go. Oh, he's a noisy bugger, isn't he? Right, hang on. Just going to move me detritus. Yes, it has 700 newton meters of torque. And I can tell you, that's quite a lot. We have already done some driving and it's like, ooh, quite exciting. So, a walk around. Really, really couldn't. It was like, oh my God, there's old Hyundai Sonnet. You'll see it go right past here. Oh, hello, saucy little bitch. Right, here we go. Right, I'm going to pop in here. So inside, there are changes. Oh, I'm just looking at the thing. It's showing someone in the rear. There isn't. Anyway, as I've said when I was driving, we have. No, hang on, because I haven't said that yet, have I? No, I've got that wrong. And it should, in theory, open the rear door, but it's not going to open the rear door. Oh, that backfired, didn't it? Why won't that open up the back door? I'm in park, and it won't open. Sort of a noise. We've got, what's it, the OBD stuff there, which all comes up. And again, see that? That's quite nice and soft. I can't actually put that back in. I might put that back in later. Yeah, I shouldn't have pulled that off, really, should I? Or does it go through that way first? Oh, there we go. Head first. Right, hang on, we'll do that again. And we range from, was it 3.7 to 4.1? Or was it the other way around? Is it 2.7 to 3.1? Do you know, I can't remember now. Isn't that bad? Hang on. It wasn't 4.1. It was 3.7. It was 3.7. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'll have to do it again. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro.